No Offence is the brand new crime drama comedy by the guy who brought you Shameless, another British drama comedy. Yeah, it seems to have become a running trend in recent years to not really classify yourself as a drama or a comedy. It seems to be done as a get-out-of-jail-free card if you're not very funny, or if the viewer can't take you seriously. We're meant to be a serious drama. Well, I can't take you seriously. Well, we're meant to be a comedy. Gotta admit, that's actually kinda genius. Maybe I'll start classifying myself as a legit academic critic every time one of my jokes falls flat. So, No Offence centres around a group of miserable coppers with strong Mancunian accents, which means that America will probably remake it in about 2 years if it takes off, dealing with day-to-day tragedy on the streets of Manchester. Well, I say day-to-day tragedy, real-life day-to-day tragedy includes things like parking tickets, petty shoplifting, somehow getting a cold in the middle of summer, whereas day-to-day tragedy in crime drama is chasing a man suspected of murdering people with Down syndrome until he accidentally gets his head run over by a bus. As you do. Now, while that plot is the sort of thing that you would see in mainstream crime dramas, because mainstream crime drama is incredibly melodramatic, and they always seem to be about people doing the most horrible things that you could possibly think of for no real reason other than to hammer home to your viewer how gritty and bleak life is. Yet so much crime drama that I've either watched or read seem to be engaged in a war of just trying to outgrim each other for the sake of it. But Paul Abbott's idea here is to juxtapose how bleak crime dramas can be with funny idiosyncratic characters delivering one-liners. Which is a premise that I can get behind. Its characters aren't quite all there yet, but I really enjoyed D.I. Vivienne Deering, played by Joanna Scanlon, otherwise known as Terry from The Thick of It.
Fuck McLaren. Fuck the Googles. They couldn't find a click without a search engine.
As you can probably tell, No Offence is stupid. But it does know that it is. It's a serious crime drama that knows how stupid crime dramas are, and I find the fact that it doesn't demand me to take it seriously is a refreshing approach. Some have categorised it as base shock humour, which, yes, valid as most of the stuff in it that you can identify as humour, is very toilet-centric. Literally, they use the toilet as a meeting place. Really, doesn't this scene just reach some kind of stupidness singularity? But the other end of it is out-and-out shock humour. The script seems to be playing a game with itself in just trying to one-up itself every 10 minutes or so, with something more unpleasant than the last thing it came out with. However, I mostly appreciated the tongue-in-cheek approach in this case because I think that crime drama is stupid as well. I guess it's the ideal form for crime drama to come in for me. As someone who wants to like crime drama, I do, but I've just never been able to take it seriously in spite of how much it clearly wants me to. And the disturbing thing was that the serial killer acted like he was a normal person. Wow, it's like literally anyone could be a serial killer, even the guy down the fish and chip shop. What's he hiding? You never know. Anyone you meet could potentially be a serial killer. Doesn't that thought disturb you? You know, call this psychopathic of me, but imagining the guy down the fish and chip shop deep frying people's severed heads is such a fucking ludicrous image. How can you take that seriously? That's not disturbing, that's silly. Yet the over-the-top nature of shows trying to hard-boil themselves and do horrible things all the time renders it ridiculous to me, so a crime drama doing horrible over-the-top things played knowingly tongue-in-cheek is pretty much ideal. Yet what makes me totally incapable of taking crime drama seriously is life is not all bleak. You need night and day in some way, and if you pummel me with bleak so much, it becomes counterintuitive. So in No Offence's case, you have things like a little old lady ratting out her grandson for planning an armed robbery. A kid straps bricks to his feet and teaches himself how to drive. A lady with a history of bestiality dies of a small dog being stuck down her throat. Among lots of other stuff that I feel very uncomfortable talking about. No offence. Get it? Because we're incredibly offensive and heavy going. That's a pun. Yeah, No Offence is dark. There are moments that make you forget that it's supposed to be played tongue-in-cheek because lots of it's quite horrible. Maybe a bit too horrible for ostensibly being played as offbeat. As a whole, it ended up feeling a bit more dour than I expected.
Know when to give up. I asked for a private meeting in your office, which you decided to have in front of my flock, making unfounded allusions to my professional fuck-ups in front of a junior officer.
Okay, yes, stupid with toilet humour, but I'm talking about the overall mood here. Yes, being dour is true to its artistic statement, but I just felt a bit put out by it at times because of how miserable it was. I think I admire its intentions more than I actually enjoyed it, as much as I did find its approach interesting. Maybe part of my reaction's because playing a serious, over-the-top, bleak cop drama for laughs was done in a different, more sardonic way by Charlie Brooker several years ago, and I guess I expected it to come in from a similar angle, but without the meta, of course. And yes, I know I'm always banging on about Charlie Brooker. I'm a fanboy, sue me. I probably should have remembered Paul Abbott's deal going in. Overall, while No Offence feels less the comedy that it's been sold as, and its over-reliance on shock will probably see it written off by lots of viewers as just that, but I did find it warm and engaging, and I am interested to see where they go with it.